I will be continuing the 100% run-through of Dragon Age that I'm planning. And I was going through my stuff for Dragon Age, actually, when I came across a little something. So this is what it is. It's a television series proposal that I had put together for BioWare and sent to Patrick Wakes because I don't have contacts in the industry anymore. So yeah, it's quite a thick document, and I was thinking about doing some reading from this document, every once in a while, just to give us an idea of, what I had planned. I thought that maybe today I could start off. So, keep in mind this is something I came up with myself. You don't have to necessarily agree with it or whatnot, and the direction that I felt the TV show could go. And keep in mind I'm not in contact with anyone from BioWare. Hopefully someday they might see this. They might be like, oh, well, actually that's pretty interesting. And reach out to me, which I would love. But if they don't, well, that's life. So the TV series proposal that I had put together, I called this TV series Dragon Age Reckoning. Mostly based on Inquisition, but with drawing obviously from some elements from Dragon Age Origins, as well as Dragon Age 2, and obviously all the lore in the books and visual novels and things like that have been published since. Now, I haven't read this in... How long ago did I make this? Hang on. I think 2 years ago? Somewhere around there. I will be reading just like the two first pages of the document. That's the basic proposal itself, and then later on in other streams I'll continue reading, especially if that's something that people are interested in. So I actually had two friends of mine read this proposal. One had played the game several times, the other hadn't ever heard of the game before or played it, obviously. So the person who had played the games had this to say.
The Inquisitor in this proposal is an endearing character that has the potential to reach many people. Well thought out and definitely more to build on. There's great potential here, and I hope that you get a positive response from BioWare because I'd really like to see this series come to life.
So this is actually what's written down. This is actually what my friend wrote me, and I decided to include it in the proposal. Additionally, he suggested that we could try to add in more content and shake things up a bit from the main Dragon Age Inquisition storyline, which some of the things I did in here actually did, but you didn't see that version, so... Anyway, the person who never played the games before was immediately enamored with the world and had this to say.
I find this to be a fresh new idea for television. Police and crime shows have become so monotonous, and here we finally have a well-balanced level of comedy, action, and romance. The characters are entertaining to follow, and I'd love to know more about what happens to them. As a person who normally prefers games that are level-based, such as Mario, Pac-Man, etc., this has intrigued me to actually ask my friend for a copy of the game so that I can try it as well as discover the world this is all based on. Hopefully I get to see a commercial for this soon.
Again, real person writing this, and I decided to include in the proposal. This paragraph is no longer relevant as we're 2 years later. So apparently they're working on a television series for Mass Effect, so that paragraph's not relevant anymore either. Okay. Dragon Age Reckoning. The Dragon Age video game series is a rich, complex universe that can provide great source material for an initial television series that could be the next Game of Thrones. The main storyline would be the story from DA3, aka Dragon Age Inquisition. Not only is it the most recent and most popular installation, it also gives the best access to the world for viewers unfamiliar with the DA world, and would lead well into transitioning to the DA4 story when that game is released. The stories from the previous game and books, as needed, will be woven in to provide better context and background to the main storyline. We will need to add in some new content to keep things interesting and less predictable, of course. So this is where I think people are going to be like, I'm not sure, but hear me out. The Inquisitor, our main protagonist, would be a female Dalish elf mage, tentatively named Katai of originally Clan Lavellan. She won't be too feminine nor too masculine, and must be a good balance between tough and compassionate. This will be a continuous line to negotiate, as we must provide a semi-neutral inquisitor that the majority of those who have played the game can relate to. She is pansexual with an inclination for women, but will eventually seriously romance Commander Cullen Rutherford. The reason for these choices is that it makes the most logical sense story-wise and to appeal to the broadest audience possible. To have a Dalish elf confronted with how her culture is being twisted and abused by Corypheus, and later being confronted by one of her gods in Solus, will be an interesting viewpoint, and to have her reclaim that heritage will be all the more appealing to viewers. Having her eventually romance Cullen after a few failed alternatives like Cassandra, Blackwall, Alistair, and Solus will also appeal to popular vote. The show would be live action with enhanced with realistic special effects, and the overall tone would be dramedy to stay true to the tone of the game. And then budget estimate, production values. I don't think most people would be interested in this. Potential spin-offs, a series about the First Inquisition and or the creation of the Grey Wardens. Which I think is, would be in very popular demand as well. So yeah, and I have actually 5 seasons planned out. As you can see here, ish. Very similar to Game of Thrones, about 10 episodes, no, exactly 10 episodes per season. I have here the breakdown per episode of general things that happen every episode, points of interest, etc. So, yeah. So I'm gonna stop it at that for now. But yeah, I do look forward to reading more of this for you guys, because I think I worked almost 100 hours on this, so it'd be nice to share it with someone. So yeah.